So this is Metatron color healing, and this is a beautiful healing system, energetic healing, similar to a Reiki, but working with one of my main guides, Archangel Metatron. And this particular system was created by my teacher, Amanda Ellis of Angelic Celestial Colors. She's actually in the UK. And this is the method of Metatron color healing that I am a certified practitioner in. That's what all these beautiful colored bottles are about. I have these healing energy sprays. I know you've seen me. See what I mean? This I could be reflected in here. And what these are, beautiful sprays that are made of essential oils, crystals, infused with intentions. Of course, they smell amazing and it's lovely to have them, but that's not necessary because we're working with energy. And so this particular spray is the flame attunement and connection spray for Archangel Metatron. So when I use this spray and I tune in for a session, I am infusing my words, my intentions, the reading and healing that I'm bringing to you through this spray. So you're receiving that energy as well. And all of these sprays also have beautiful channeled messages by Amanda Ellis. And I always include that in your report, the link to those messages if you're interested to look at those, because there's often even more meaning in them. So these sessions vary widely. They're very much spirit-led. There are some specific sessions like the ones that I shared earlier today. I have a couple I printed off just to show you guys little visuals. 2 of the special color healings that I showed today just to speak to. We have the chakra cleanup. So this would be like a session where we're tuning into the chakras to do a clearing. Or we have like the energetic cord cutting, which is amazing. And that's about a guided meditation that takes you through. It actually goes on a hot air balloon ride to see your situation from a higher vantage point. We're cutting cords with people, places, and things that are no longer serving us. We could set intentions on what we want to call in. So, these are just a couple of ways that we work with the energy. There's always cards, there's always crystals, and healing implements, of course. But one of the main steps in this process is checking your chakras. So your chakras are energy centers in the body that move energy through our body. So you might be familiar with that, familiar with this view of the rainbow of the chakras moving from your root all the way to crown. This system, we actually work with the 12 chakra body. So that includes some additional chakras other than root, sacral, solar, heart, throat, third eye, and crown. And so when we are tuning in with the pendulum that I have here that I'm going to do for Miss Billy Joe first, we're tuning in to see how energy is moving in the body. And so that's going to help us to identify if there's any areas of the body where energy is blocked or stuck or not moving, because the energy is going to have an impact on overall health. So we're looking at total body health, not just our physical health, but on an energetic level. So emotional, mental, spiritual. So it's just a really awesome way for us to tune into just how energy is moving in our body. So I'm not going to go on too much. I want to show you guys. And so what I have set up here, this is a new way that Metatron's been having me work with delivering these healings in the way that I do, being that they're pre-recorded versus being in person or being live on a Zoom. I'm going to show you my old wheel in a second because I'm going to use that for Colleen. But this one I've been using to show when we're doing a healing with the body, which thus far, that's what I've done, but we have a really new cool thing I'm going to show you in a moment after this. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my pendulum. This is a special pendulum I use just for my Metatron color healings. And as Billy Joe, oh, hey, Kristen, hey, girl. As Billy Joe mentioned, she has done the energetic cord cutting. And so what I have here, this is actually Billy Joe's necklace. See, I told you I was taking care of it for you. I like to include a gift from me to you, this handmade macrame necklace. It's made by my friend and neighbor who's another small business woman. She makes these necklaces for me, and that way I have them here for your healing, and they're infused with all of the healing energy sprays and intentions through your healing, which you then have. It's a crystal keeper necklace that holds a crystal, or I have lava stone hearts that I include with them that you can use in any way that you like. So this is actually Billy Joe's necklace, which was previously infused with her healing session. So I'm going to have that here for her today because I will be sending it off to her after this. So I wanted to have that present. And what we're going to do is we're going to tune in for Billy Joe. Again, we're just checking her chakras to see in this moment how energy is moving. We start with the root. So what I want to show you is, and if you're familiar with a pendulum, for me, when I'm working with Metatron, when he's showing me that a chakra is open and spinning healthily, the pendulum moves in a clockwise motion. When he's showing me that it is closed or not blocked in some way, not moving, I get a front to back. And then another way is a counterclockwise, which is showing me typically that it is perhaps overactive, underactive, or in need of some other TLC. So let's go ahead and tune in for Billy Joe. We're going to start with the root chakra. So we're going to see how the energy is currently moving for Billy Joe in her root chakra. And we are getting, let's see, yes. So we're getting a nice clockwise that it is moving open and moving healthily there in the root chakra. Okay, let's check the sacral. Sorry, I'm very close to the phone, so I hope it's not, the sound is okay. Ooh, looking good. The sacral is giving us a yes. Okay. Tuning into the solar plexus. Okay, now if you can see, show me stronger. We're now getting a front to back. So that's giving us a no. The solar plexus is showing that it might be blocked or closed in some way in need of some TLC. So we make a note of that. And then we move into the heart chakra. Now, if you can tell, if it's coming up on camera, that's moving counterclockwise. So we're getting a counterclockwise motion for the heart chakra. So we're going to feel into that. Throat chakra is giving us a yes. Okay. Speak your truth, girl. Now we're going to do third eye. Yes. Nice. And crown chakra. And we're getting a front to back there with a no for the crown chakra. Okay, so that is showing us that we want to take a look at the crown, the heart, and the solar plexus. So then when I'm tuning in, and again, it depends on the type of healing we're doing, we're feeling into what might be coming up there. And so I also have some cards I like to bring in just as a visual. Then when I am doing your session, that I'm showing you a visual again of our body and the energies that can be affected by how energy is moving. So that's where we see that if we have a blockage in the solar plexus, you know, our power source, our center, that can manifest itself in physical ways, that we may have some dis-ease in the body. And the same would be true for the heart and, of course, for all of them. And then we also have the crown. So one of the things I did do before we came on today is I pulled a couple of cards for Billy Joe, and I also have them for Colleen, because I usually will start out where I like to tune into your energy, and I pull a color, a spirit animal, and a crystal energy for you. So I kind of had an idea of what might come up today, just kind of looking at what these cards were, and now that I look at this. So the color that came up for Billy Joe is sky blue, with this key word of elevate. And first of all, I mean, she's bending backwards with her crown illuminated. And I say that she's bending backwards because that's the first thing I got was about sort of bending backwards, right? And so the mantra for this color is, I let my wild heart be free to explore, play, and live without holding back. So here we have this color coming forward to support Billy Joe, and it's talking about elevating, right? And it's just really interesting to me, knowing what chakras came up now, the positioning of this card. It's almost like an optical illusion that she's bending over backwards, and you're seeing the crown illuminated. Now, the spirit animal was this adorable squirrel spirit, believe in yourself. And so squirrel spirit is talking about having a reminder that all these acorns that you've gathered and stowed away have enormous potential to grow. So it's an encouragement to relax into knowing that there's always enough and that you have what it takes to co-create the reality that you want to experience. And there was a little note there about how sometimes the unpredictability of life can shake our confidence in ourself. Solar plexus. Our solar plexus is that sun energy. It's our source of joy, bravery, confidence, courage, right? And so here comes squirrel spirit talking about having this potential, a reminder that you already have the potential for handling any challenges that come your way. So I love that that came forward for you. And then we have the crystal, aragonite, release your emotional baggage, which right away took me into the heart. And remember, the heart is the one that came up counterclockwise. So it's not blocked or closed, but there's something there that's needing a little TLC in the way that energy is moving through the heart. And so aragonite is talking about releasing your emotional baggage, saying it's time to lighten the load. Give yourself permission to acknowledge, process, and release any emotions that are no longer serving you. So this is where we could get into in an energetic cord cutting. What are those emotions and where do they come from that we want to have a guided meditation where we're looking at cutting those cords? And it talks about how emotional baggage can manifest in so many different ways. It can show up in emotions like shame, disappointment, anger, guilt, resentment. And those are all emotions that are held in the body and in different organs of the body. And that is where physical illness comes from. It's from stagnant energy that's not moving. So this helps us to have some insight into, how energy is moving in the body, and clearing that so that it brings greater physical, mental, spiritual, emotional health. It's healing on all levels. So that's what's really beautiful. Now, normally we would go on with this where we would feel into, and what I'd like to do is I'm just going to go ahead and bring in the sprays for those specific chakras so that we can kind of do a little clearing here for Billy Joe. But what I usually will do then is whatever healing is happening, it just depends on the session, because I might do an actual hands-on healing. I have a little teddy bear that I use to represent your energetic body, and that's where I might bring in color silks and crystals and all different things, feathers, who knows, whatever moves me. And we use those to help bring healing to each chakra. So I'm bringing in the golden citrine just then for the solar plexus. And then we're going to do the pink lotus for the heart energy. And we really want to bring that in because there was definitely something there with the heart that needed some clearing, some movement. And that's what, emotions are, energy in motion. And when they're not moving, that's where we can get into having some of that blockage and backing up that we can experience then physically. And now we have the crown silver ray for the crown energy as well. And so we're just kind of bringing that in. I'm infusing her necklace here and bringing in that healing for her. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull. I have this is the tarot, psychic tarot for the heart. So I'm going to go ahead and pull one card for you, Billy Joe, just to ask for anything that Metatron wants to bring through at this time around how the energy is moving or anything that you need to know at this time. And there's an affirmation too that went with the crystal I wanted to share. It says, I am light and free. And it gives us this visualization. Today, when a negative emotion surfaces, examine it. Consider where the emotion came from, then gently let it go without judging yourself. And that comes up a lot. I like to think of the emotions as clouds that drift in and drift out. It's just the weather. And that can be a helpful exercise as well for moving through emotions. So let's get one card here for Billy Joe. Beautiful. So this is like the Two of Cups. It's called Coming Together. And this, of course, can be a card of partnerships. It can have to do with our romantic relationships, our business partnerships, agreements, and pairings of all kind. But the first thing that comes to mind here with this card is that pearl. And thinking about, what does it take to create a pearl, to cultivate that pearl? Irritation, grit. The process of a pearl actually forming has to do with the irritation of the sand creating. So it's a reminder that sometimes it's the most difficult, irritating, gritty things that actually cultivate the most precious of pearls. And so, this can also be balancing within yourself, masculine and feminine energy. And that's going to be the doing and the being, the receiving and taking action. And so when those two things are sometimes at odds, that can be where we can stand to have some balancing. But this is a really beautiful card, and it's definitely in the heart chakra. And yet I just love how we have this pearl, and it's an openness to understanding that, yes, there can be some of those gritty emotions, some of those more difficult, challenging things, and yet we can see from a higher perspective how those things may be just what enables us to make the most beautiful of pearls, bring those pearls into our life. So I love that energy for you. Now, what I usually like to do is when we're done with the healing, I will take the pendulum and check again just to see. So we'll do that here just to see what's happening for you. Again, in the solar plexus, we're just going to take a look. And now we are getting that clockwise motion, getting some movement there. Beautiful. Let's take a look at the heart. The heart's not ready yet. See that counterclockwise. So some heart healing, and so that is, something that we can certainly take a look at together as well. So then we have the crown chakra as well, open and spinning. And, again, this is just energy in a given moment. It's a snapshot of how energy is moving in the body. I know, it never gets old seeing that. It's so cool. And I always use the pendulum then to check the chakras and then ultimately to confirm with Metatron that the healing is complete. So thank you, Billy Joe. I appreciate your willingness to participate, and I am going to be getting this necklace off to you, infused with all of the healing energy for you. So if you have any questions about that, or you have anything that you want to know more about that demo, please let me know. I'm going to start to move things around here so I can set up for the next demonstration. Okay. I'm going to move these out of the way because I'm going to bring in, thank you. I'm going to bring in my old chakra wheel for Colleen. And I'm really excited to try this out because this is going to be a brand new way of working with Metatron color healing that came to me through my work that is for our small business people, for small business entrepreneurs, for creatives, people who have creative projects or things that they're working on, and using this spread. So I have this Small Business Chakra Alignment spread, and I'm going to bring in Colleen's cards that I pulled ahead of time and show you guys the spread that I'm talking about. Thank you, guys. So this is a new option that I just debuted today, the Small Business Chakra Alignment. So what we're doing here is we're actually checking the chakras or the energetic body of your business. So we're feeling into how energy is moving in your business. And of course, I did tag both Colleen and Billy Joe's businesses in our event, but please, girls, feel free, ladies, to put your businesses there as well, because you both have very beautiful businesses to share about. So Colleen has Nature's Magic and Cookie Shop. So what we're going to do here is, again, tuning into those 7 chakras. We have this special spread that's indicating, for example, the root chakra of the business is going to be notes about security, money, safety in the business. Sacral is looking at pushing past creative edges. The solar is about what to know about ego and willpower in the business. We have the heart chakra, which is any tips on sharing your heart in your business. The throat chakra is guidance to use your voice in your business. Third eye is what to know about intuition and wisdom. And then finally, crown, a message from your higher self. Now, this time, before we check her chakras, let's look at her cards. So we have, again, these 3 cards to kind of set the tone with her energy for this session. We've got a color, a spirit animal, and crystal. And perfectly, plum self-expression has come up. And if you guys saw today, Colleen was one of the guest sellers today. She actually went at 11 a.m. Eastern time. You can see her stuff pinned up there at the top of the group. And she had debuted some really beautiful original creations that she was trying out. And I love that this card came up for her because the affirmation is, I am ready to birth my desires and creations into the world. And a little fun fact is that in this color healing system, this is the current spray for the sacral chakra, the place of the birthplace of creation in our body, in the sacral. However, the original was plum. That was actually the color for the sacral chakra. And so I love that came up because that pulls me immediately into her sacral and knowing that she has a lot of activity going on there. And now we have the animal is wombat spirit, be at home. And Colleen and I laughed when this came up because, it's literally your business is built at home and birthed from the idea of you being at home and having a business. So I thought that was really perfect just out the gate. But I love some of the sentiments that were here with the Spirit Animal Oracle, talking about wombat spirit reminding you that to truly be at home in the world, that you need to find comfort within your own skin. And that you do that by accepting all your experience without judgment. So looking at your story and what brought you to the business that you have now, and understanding all of those things, looking at those things without judgment and recognizing the deep honesty and love of life that you have through that experience. So I love too, it said, when you feel the freedom to be yourself, you can begin to truly feel at home in your life, with your family and tribe. Right now, you are in a beautiful place where you can hang up the coat of your identity and settle into a true sense of home and well-being, understanding that all is well. Everything you do from this place rings true in harmony with spirit. Perfect. So I thought this was really beautiful energy to come in, tuning into your business. And then, of course, your crystal was azurite, get laser focused. So we'll see how this might come up, but I feel like this one can be speaking to getting some focus in the business and figuring out where to direct your attention at a time to be more efficient and productive in everything you do, because life is busy and it can pull you in a lot of directions, but staying focused and so forth. So I thought that, that might be something that we'll see come up too. Now, the affirmation for azurite is, I harness the power of my attention to support my goals. And the guidance says, today pick a single task and commit to finishing it before you begin the next. So this kind of stuff, guys, if I was doing a session with Colleen, I would be sharing all this, setting the tone of her altar space. And then in her report, because you would get a report then after your session that would have these things outlined for you as well, just because each one of these elements end up coming in and contributing to the overall healing. So now, for the very first time, we're going to check business chakras. So I'm really excited to try this out here. We are going to tune into Colleen's business and see how energy is moving. Taking a sip behind the scenes. Okay. We're going to start again with the root chakra. And again, of the business, we're taking a look to see that we're getting that clockwise yes. Energy is moving healthily. Beautiful. Now let's take a look at that sacral chakra, feeling into pushing past creative edges. And if you guys saw those spell bottle earrings, you know that Colleen is doing just that. Awesome. Beautiful. Yes. Okay. Solar plexus. What to know about ego and willpower. Getting a yes there. Beautiful. Let's feel into the heart. Tips on sharing my heart. So now we're getting a counterclockwise. So that's giving us a little over or under active. Feeling into the heart chakra of the business. Tips on sharing my heart. Okay. Make a note of that. And now let's feel into the throat chakra. Guidance to use my voice. Yes. Beautiful. Okay. Third eye. Nice. Open and spinning. And the crown chakra. Yes, open. And this is a position that for this spread I have that this would be a message from your higher self. So we will definitely pull a card there with the message from Colleen's higher self. And we're going to feel into the heart energy of the business. So tips on sharing my heart in the business. So let's just pull two cards here. We're going to pull one for the heart chakra to see what is coming forward there with the counterclockwise motion for ways to share your heart within your business. Okay. Okay, so we've got the Emperor coming in here. And I'm going to go ahead and pull that card for the crown chakra as a message from your higher self. Okay, Colleen. Seven of Swords. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, of course, so he's going to bring in here the azurite, staying focused. Okay, so the Emperor is the divine masculine energy, all about strategy, planning, very structured, very much into like our foundations and getting stable and having a plan and all that kind of energy. And whether that's something that comes naturally to us or not, right? And whether or not we want to have that type of structure or not, you know, we might see that there could be guidance coming forward about an opportunity to incorporate it in a way that still captures your essence. You know, and we talk about this coming up for the heart chakra, tips on sharing my heart. So in what way, through the balance of the structure that you've brought into your business and having regular menus or communicating different things about the business on a regular basis, which is in itself some structure, right? But yet also getting to maintain the creative freedom to express, you know? And so we could see a little bit of that coming in here. Kind of catches my eye how it's almost like a shadow aspect, which I don't know, I'm thinking for myself, like time management and being beholden to certain things can sometimes be challenging when we talk about the structure of the Emperor. But the other thing that's catching my eye too is the lead. leadership. So also within your business, being a leader and sort of setting the tone within all the different aspects of your business and the places where you share your business, and having, that position of you as the leader, and again, setting the tone for it being reflective of you and what's in your heart. And so when we take a look at how that corresponds with the message from your higher self, we have the energy of the Seven of Swords sort of peeling back the curtain, seek the truth and seeing things as they are, versus maybe how they appear. So that's where I always say about this card, and since I'm coming up on the season, I have this slogan that I say with this card, which is, don't let anyone steal your joy. And I said that at a time for myself. I kept pulling this card. It was haunting me. It was Christmas time. It was the season of the year where I was doing all the things, trying to make everybody's magic, do all the mom things. And it was like, what am I doing all this for? Not at the detriment of stealing my own joy. So I think that, and knowing that the crown chakra was not closed, it wasn't stuck. It was just saying, it's bringing our attention into, you have this beautiful flow going with your feeling safe and secure and creative and strong in your I am. Don't let anything steal your joy. And that can include even aspects of ourself. We want to have that freedom to create and be and do, while also having some of that structure of having a business, and having those plans and so forth. So I do feel that energy coming in here as well. I'm going to spray our heart chakra energy. Now, if I was doing a full session with the small business chakra, we'd pull a card for we'd be doing a spread. So we'd pull a card for every one of the chakras. And together, the messages that come up, we would be weaving together, what's coming through for the business, but ultimately bringing in and healing and alignment, a chakra alignment to any that come up, as being out of alignment. But we're going to go ahead and spray that crown chakra as well. Beautiful. So, like I said, this would go into some additional tarot and oracle card messages. We would be discussing ahead of time any specific goals that you have for the business, challenges, anything that you want to look into specifically, and we'd be pulling cards for that as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull one final message for you. I'm going to use this deck here. Ooh, your head just tingled with, oh, I love that. That's the first time I've ever been told that. Amanda, my teacher, will say that people have said that they can actually smell the spray or feel the spray. That's awesome. Oh my gosh, I just saw your other notes. Yes, you're a procrastinator. Girl, that's one of my sneaky peas. My sneaky peas for me are perfectionist, people pleaser, procrastinator. So yes, I was feeling that energy in the Emperor for you. But I love that you felt that on your crown. That's amazing. So let's pull you. These are just fun affirmation cards. I don't know what we're going to get, but we're just going to ask for whatever you need to come forward and go ahead and get you a card so we can transition. I'm going to shuffle a little more. Transition into pulling our cards for the week ahead. So if anybody has any questions about color healing, you want to know anything else about the process, please feel free to comment before we move into the tarot messages for next week. So let's get a card here, a little final affirmation for Colleen in the business. The mystery of life. Wander in the mystery of life and wonder at it. Do it regularly. Your soul needs shooting stars, not neon lights. So that brings you into just taking time out for you to connect with nature, right? Now I kind of feel like this is like, yes, we need structure, but also being true to you, and understanding that we each have our own unique way. And that sometimes maybe the clarity for you could come from stepping away from all of that, the neon lights, as it's worded here. to allow yourself to find, just the right flow for you and your business. So that's a beautiful message coming in for you. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and clear this out so that we can prepare to tune into the tarot for our messages for the week ahead. How did everybody's week go with those cards from last week? If you saw the week ahead reading, once again, another week that was very interesting to see how it played out for everyone. If you know or you remember that we had the Tower energy for our overarching energy, and we had a bunch of movement, push-pull movement going on. I know, Cassandra, I see you.